Hey, it's John Lee Dumas of EO Fire, and it's The Entrepreneurial You, the show for dedicated and passionate Caribbean entrepreneurs seeking daily inspiration, brought to you by author, speaker, and award-winning entrepreneur Heneka Watkis-Porter. You must be prepared to ignite.
Coming up on this episode of The Entrepreneurial You.
If you look around, almost every company in the world probably would be using Excel at some point of time. Excel provides you with very unique features, like they have some built-in functions, huge lot of built-in functions, which helps you do a lot of work in a very simple way. And probably if that function is not available, it would take hours and hours of somebody to do it.
Hi, I'm Heneka Watkis-Porter, your inspirational leader and host of the Entrepreneurial You podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Bookophelia, Patwa Apparel, and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And now, let's go to today's episode. Today's featured guest is extremely knowledgeable in his field with an MBA in finance and more than 10 years experience in industry and academics. He is the author of the book on financial management, published by one of the leading academic publishers, McGraw-Hill Education. I'm super excited to welcome Sumit Gulati to the Entrepreneurial You. Welcome, Sumit.
Thanks, Heneka.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to having this conversation. Before we even start, I want to get from you, do you know any Jamaican words or expression?
No, not as such.
Not even after class with me, that you... I need to be teaching.
Definitely, after this session, would like to sit down and learn something, at least the greetings out of it, right?
So I'm going to be teaching you. I've not been doing a good job, obviously, of teaching you some Jamaican, yeah? And of course, I'll need to learn some Hindi.
Definitely, we'll share these notes around.
Before we go any further, let me let my peak performers community know that's our listeners here on, or, to our podcast, is we call them peak performers. So that's a community of persons just wanting to increase and peak their knowledge and better develop themselves. So just to let you guys know that I am actually in India recording this episode. Sumit is actually one of my lecturers here at the National Institute for Small Business Development in Noida, India. So yes, I am in incredible India. Thank you so much for your hospitality, and to you and everyone who has been treating me so nicely, Sumit.
Great, you are welcome. Hope you are liking your stay out here.
Yes, I am. I'm having an experience. It really is an experience, yeah, and it will go down as one of the most memorable experiences I've had in my life. You are a financial wizard and an Excel lover. When did you, Sumit, discover that you have this passion for finance and to also now combine it with Excel?
In fact, a little bit a long story.
Yes.
But I did my engineering way back. During my engineering days, we were doing some projects, right? So during those projects, we realized the importance of finance when it comes to projects. It is not only technical aspects, but it comes down to financial aspects, right? And then at that point of time, I also realized that financial aspects have to be laid down and analyzed. And there wherein the Excel came into picture. So this is how the love for finance and Excel came into being. So a lot of practical situations where I found out that financial projections, financial predictions, costing, and these are the things which takes you forward. I thought it would be a great combination to go ahead in finance, and then Excel helps you a lot in doing data analysis on day-to-day basis.
Even before we go into the data analysis, so that's how your genesis into this, love for Excel and financial management. The kind of data that we're analyzing, where are we getting this data from? What are some of the sources that we're getting our data from, or should we be looking for data? Because we know garbage in, garbage out, and so the type of data that we get, that we have, it will of course impact the kind of result and the analysis that we see and that we're able to make. So talk to us in terms of our data sources.
Data is coming from everywhere practically, and you are absolutely right when you say garbage in and garbage out, right? This is where we need to take out data and put it into some sort of structured format so that information can be derived out of it. When you talk of data sources, there are a lot of financial data sources which are happening from where you can download the data and do analysis on it. On the marketing side also we are collecting. In fact, this is the age of data. We all agree to it, right? We are collecting data in every day-to-day aspects. When you swipe a credit card, data is collected. When you go to any shop, data is collected. So everything is where we are collecting a lot of data. Now, to get a specific data, there are data sources, obviously, who give you a structured data. And at times you get unstructured data, which has to be structured before any analysis can be done onto it.
Now we're going into analyzing the data and understanding why is it important in making sound financial decisions.
If you look around, as you rightly said in the last question itself, that when you put in garbage in, garbage out, right? When you bring in data, you structure it out, then you need to analyze it to get the right information for the right situation. This is what I believe the data analysis comes into being. Because data analysis is not getting all the questions answered, it is getting the specific questions required for a particular situation answered. For example, suppose we are doing some projections for us for my sales. So I need to get in data and then analyze it, put it into charts and graphs, and look at it to understand how my sales structure would look in the future. So this is why data analysis is very, very, very critical. And using data analysis, the decision making becomes very, very, very interesting and very fruitful actually.
What we put in definitely is what we're going to get out, and so we have to ensure that our sources are reliable. That's number one, and that what we're analyzing, what it's telling us, because it will feed back to us what we fed in the very beginning. So it's important that we have that right at the very beginning. Now we know that usually there is a gap between theoretical knowledge and what is required to achieve success, both in your career or for those that are starting a business or who are running business currently. Now, how does your company, FinExcel Academy, bridge that gap? And first of all, what is it that you do and how does it do it?
I totally agree with you and I totally understand this. Before starting this company, the idea was to bridge this gap. When you do read theoretical books, you read it around, and when you go to the practical life, there are a lot of different sort of problems that comes in, right? So it is not the ABC which is written in the books that can be applied directly as it is to the situations. So what our company FinExcel Academy does is we do trainings and we also take up some consulting works, but generally we are focused on trainings, right? And trainings we have developed in such a way so that we take business problems itself and then try and put theoretical knowledge and train you on how to use it in the practical situations. Idea is after the training, the participant should be self-sufficient, should get a knowledge to such a level so that he or she can himself do this bridging of the gap. What I mean is, when you train in any function in Excel, suppose we are talking of conditional formatting or something in Excel, right? When you talk of some function, one way is to tell them what is conditional formatting. Other way is to take 4 or 5 business specific problems which we have collected from the business itself and then tell them this is conditional formatting and this is how we can apply it, and then make them do it. So what it does is next time when they have to apply it, they know what permutations, combinations they can take to actually get the desired output. So this is what we do. We do trainings on 2 sides. One is on the financial analysis, financial modeling, projection side, and we also do data analysis using Excel.
You're hinting to the fact that you actually use case studies from businesses as practical illustrations to bring across the whole data analysis and modeling.
We can call it case study. These are case studies, but these are not standard structured case studies you may find in books, right? We also collect a lot of cases from the business itself. Before we go there, we try and connect with them before going there and try and collect what are the problems they are facing, structure it out in the form of a caselet, and then try and answer them. so that it becomes relevant for the participant.
Okay, so now it's not just a one size fit all, but it's actually very specific and tailored to the specific business that you are dealing with. Now, you mentioned about book, right? And we're talking about theory. You're an author and you wrote a book on financial management. Congratulations. I forget to tell you congratulations because McGraw-Hill Education, it's a world renowned publisher, and we know that they are very high on academics. So congrats on that milestone. Tell us.
Thank you so much, Heneka.
Sure. So tell me a little, Sumit, about. I know the book is on financial management, but just give us a sense of what it is that book breaks down. That academic book breakdown.
The book caters to everybody who wants to learn finance, first and foremost, right? Anybody who wants to learn financial management or corporate finance, means when he is into a corporate, there are three sides to it. One is from where do you get the money? Second is how do you invest the money? And the third is when you earn, how do you divide the money, that is dividends, or you keep the money for future growth. So this book, which is on financial management, will deal with all the three aspects. So anybody who wants to read it, at least at the first level, he needs to tap on this book. Financial management is taught across all courses, any of the courses we take around. Secondly, this book is unique in one aspect that I have created all the problems and created Excel solutions around it. That means templates for all the 300 problems where input figures can be given and output can be achieved. So this is what this book talks about. This is all about corporate finance, financial management. It caters to all the MBAs, BBAs, everybody who's into management needs to understand these aspects.
We have been talking, we've been talking so far, a little bit about financial management, data analysis, just touching on the surface of these different areas. Now we are going to be taking a break right here. We're speaking with Sumit Gulati, and he is the founder of FinExcel Academy, as well as a published author. He is co-authored with others, as well as he's authored a book on his own, published by one of the world-renowned publisher, McGraw-Hill Education. We'll take a break right here, and when we come back, we will spend our time talking about delving into Microsoft Excel, some of the features and functions that we are not using, and that we should be using to leveraging our business. So let's take a break. Success is something that we gradually work towards as an end goal, but we need to be in the right environment to make it happen. Bookophilia is dedicated to providing a space for book, coffee, and tea lovers, creatives, educators, students, and professionals who want ideas, innovation, and inspiration. They have a variety of high-quality books, a cafe, events such as book launches, signings, and art exhibitions, and professional services uniquely tailored to your needs, culture, and tastes. Their environment provides for the full literary arts experience, allowing for multifaceted creative expressions. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bookophilia. Do you want to see the world filled with better leaders? Filling the world with leaders worth following starts with you, and you can be that leader in your company, organization, or community. On May 4, 2018, join more than 100,000 leaders from around the globe at the world's largest leadership event, LeaderCast Live. Broadcast live from Atlanta to a community near you, LeaderCast Live will allow you to learn from leaders like Andy Stanley, Michael Hyatt, and Dr. Jim Lure. For more information on this can't miss event, visit HenekaWatkis-Porter.com and click on LeaderCast Kingston and invest in the future of your career, your organization, your community, and your world.
We needed to raise capital, but our experience with local financial institutions was that they were cautious and slow to act, and interest rates were far too high. We had real concerns about financing our business through outside equity investors and the possibility of interference. Could we get a fair valuation for our business? We had our own ideas about the business and its value. Should I go the traditional route of bank financing, or should I try the Jamaica Stock Exchange? So we made a call and experienced transformation of our business through conversations. I'm John Mahfood, CEO of Jamaican Teas, and we're listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Give us a call today at 876-967-3271 to begin your transformation through conversation. We want to see your company listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
And of course, my peak performers, if you're just joining us, we have been talking with Sumit Gulati. He is based in India, and I am proud to say he's been one of my lecturers for the over the 2 months that I'm here in India at the National Institute for Small Business Development. I'm having a great time being exposed to new information. It's a learning environment. The environment is really ripe for learning and learning new things and being open to opportunities that are presenting themselves right before my eyes. So we continue speaking about financial management, and we are now specifically zoning in on Microsoft Excel. And we're going to be Sumit is going to be sharing with us some of the features that we may not be leveraging for business success. Right? Microsoft Excel, it's a tool that's available worldwide, so we shouldn't have any excuse. So talk to us about some of the basic features, Sumit, of Microsoft Excel, and then we go into some of those that we may not necessarily be leveraging the way that we should.
Excel, as you rightly said, is a tool which is used widely, right? From small businesses to big businesses. If you look around, almost every company in the world probably would be using Excel at some point of time. So Excel provides you with very unique features, like they have some built-in functions, huge lot of built-in functions, which helps you do lot of work in a very simple way. And probably if that function is not available, it would take hours and hours of somebody to do it, right? Next, it has huge capability of creating interactive graphs and charts, which is a great analysis tool. When you are able to create some, what we call it as combo charts, we call it as some advanced charting into it. This charts and graphs give you a lot of insights into it. Thirdly, we can create templates according to our requirements. For example, suppose if we are dealing with HR department can create their own employee timesheets, own employee work schedules, their training schedules, everything which can be customized and changed and made dynamic in itself. When I say dynamic, I mean with every input there can be a change scenario which comes in front of you. These are some of the basic features. The Excel, the biggest advantage, it does relative referencing. That means you enter a formula once, you drag it down, it gets relatively referenced. And to block where you don't want to do it, you can use $signs to practically do it, absolute referencing and other thing, mixed referencing. When you talk of advanced features of it, there is one feature which is very, very useful for data analysis, which is Power Pivot. We all have heard of pivot tables. There is an add-in in Excel which is called as Power Pivot, which is an extension of pivot tables, which is a Power Pivot. It's a very powerful data analysis tool. It helps you to get large amount of data from different sources, bring it to one workbook, probably link the data sources and create great insights into the data. And this is a very, very, very powerful tool, which Excel has introduced few years back with 2010, 13 and 16 now. More to add to it, with Power Pivot, you can hugely use in your companies, we can hugely use conditional formatting. I literally love this tool because conditional formatting helps you do a lot of analysis of data.
What if analysis, yes.
What if analysis is another thing. There is a tool which is Solver add-in, which is hugely used for doing operation sort of problems. Now these are add-ins which has helped Excel grow to the next level. And probably one thing which I don't know we are aware of or not, recently with Excel 2016, it allows us to do changes online. That means if I'm sitting in one country or one place, another person who wants to do some manipulation or is also working on the same sheet is sitting in another place, we can take this Excel sheet online and we too can simultaneously work on this sheet. So this has been recently added as an Excel feature, which is the advanced feature.
Is it like Google Sheets? Is it the same thing or no?
Yes, it's a Google sheet, but it will help you, like you're doing Excel on a on your desktop. At that place only you can see what the other person, in which cell the other person is modifying data and where you are working on. So 2 or 3 or 4 persons can simultaneously work on this data. This is a very good extension where if I am sitting one place, another person, I do not need to just send him or her the sheet and then get it back. They introduced this feature for Word and PowerPoint previously, but now they have this available for the Excel also.
And that means, I mean, I'm sure for businesses and people, entrepreneurs and business owners that are on the go, just in your mind, what does that do for those business people?
It's a very powerful tool. If you look around, you want to get some information, you want to work with your team sitting anywhere else, any other place where you are. So you can open up a sheet, share, you can link it through the online version and then probably work together. Probably take a call and then work on it together. It saves a lot of time and huge capacity it will give you to improve, to probably develop the business in future. And the dashboards is the last thing which I really love around it, right? The powerful dashboards which we can create using Excel is another very critical tool. Critical tool means there are a lot of tools. You use Power Pivot, you use pivot tables, you use VLOOKUP functions, other functions, and you create interactive dashboards with slicers and everything. And that is one thing which probably helps you in data analysis and very interesting presentations going ahead.
So we have seen such tremendous improvement to the software, because I don't know how many of my listeners will remember Lotus 1, 2, 3, right?
Very difficult to work on Lotus 1, 2, 3 now, right?
It was.
Even if somebody remembers it.
Yeah, I do not recall. I cannot recall. First of all, it was a challenge for me to work on Lotus. It was just like I had to have the most intense programming knowledge and everything, and it was just so hard. And now I cannot imagine or even fathom just going back to Lotus 1, 2, 3 when Excel has made it so much easier. I mean, it can do a whole lot based on my personal experience with it. And I remember doing some courses in university, and it was I was appalled. I was really shocked, really amazed at how intensive and how comprehensive rather it was, the program was, and that was way back. And now in 2018 they have improved on it so much. So yeah, it is great, and we need to leverage it as business owners so that we get the best from it, because we have so many of these software that we're using, but we're not making the most of it. And sometimes we're even going out seeking after other resources when we're not even recognizing that these software can do so much more than what we're using it for.
Definitely. And if you look around Excel, to be very true, across world, probably we are using very less of it. The moment we gain knowledge on it, we become efficient on it, probably the time to do any work would reduce hugely, right?
It's been such a pleasure talking with you, Sumit. I'm going to ask you for your final thoughts and just some pointers as our business owners who are listening, or persons just wanting to use Excel for whatever reason. It could be HR, it could be marketing, it could be sales. Just some final tips, pointers, and information about Excel that we should know.
Final pointers for me, it's very simple. I say we use Excel for storing huge data, because now Excel gives us capability to store data in more than 1 million rows, right? And more than 16,000 columns. So it is a huge data set that can be accommodated in one single Excel worksheet. And similarly, then we need to improve on we need to work around on the functions and everything that we do and learn, and apply it for efficiency, for improving our efficiency. And it's a day-to-day work. We need to learn it. We need to learn it every day. I've been using Excel for so long, but still I believe I need to learn every day. A new problem comes in, it's a new learning that comes up. And Excel can be very interestingly and very efficiently used for making future predictions also, for creating models where we can use it for creating future predictions. And data analysis, of course.
Finally, some of the courses that you offer at, just a reminder of the courses that you offer at FinExcel Academy.
We offer data analysis, effective data analysis using advanced Excel. We do financial modeling using advanced Excel, where we do projections and everything using Excel. We do dashboards in Excel. We even do Power Pivot and Pivot, how to use these advanced tools in Excel. Where we do workshops on it around. So these are some of the courses. For rest, we can see it on the FinExcel Academy website. So we have a lot of courses that we run around, but all the courses, one thing is for sure, it's a 4-level approach. We need, at the end of the course, it should be practical and it should be applied on the job. So it has to bridge the gap between theory and practical. This is what aim I had when I started this FinExcel Academy.
Mm-hmm. I've had a great time with you, and of course we have come to the end, but before I sign out, Sumit, I want you to share with our listeners how they may be able to get in touch with you, your website, and maybe your social media handle and LinkedIn, etc.
Right. Heneka, I am connected on LinkedIn as Sumit Gulati 80, SUMIT GULATI 80. Facebook, I have my own page which is in the name of Sumit Ki Pathshala, SUMITKIPAATHSHALA. Pathshala in English means school, so Sumit School. And personally, I am connected as sumit.gulati.169. I have a website which is www.finexcelacademy.com, and anybody can also get in touch with me through email, which is sgulati80@gmail.com.
Thank you so much, Sumit Gulati out of India. He is the founder of FinExcel Academy, and he's an author, more than one book. He's written his own and he's co-authored with others. Very knowledgeable, as you can tell, in the field of financial management. That's the book he's written on. And he's also doing training through his FinExcel Academy. So he's quite knowledgeable. And so we thank him very much for spending time with us right here on the Entrepreneurial You podcast.
Thank you so much, Heneka. It's a pleasure talking to you.
What do you know? We have come to the end of another great episode of the Entrepreneurial You podcast. I trust that you learned something and that something resonated with you so that you can share with others. And speaking of sharing, I'd so love for you to leave a comment on the show notes page of each episode. Well, we're talking about this one in particular. Leave a comment at the end of the page so that when you go the topic, you click down, and at the end, there's an option there for you to comment. If you're accessing through iTunes, then by all means, I'd love for you to leave a rate and review. That will keep us as a top-rated podcast. It means a lot to me for you to help me out in this way, right? I know you are listening from all over the world, and I so appreciate it, from Japan to Germany to India to Pakistan, everywhere in the Caribbean, in the United States, in Jamaica in particular. Big up my Jamaican peeps. Big up those, of course, in Ohio and all those other states that persons are listening in from, that you are listening in from. I so truly appreciate you. Now, if you want to reach out to me personally, you can actually send me an email, send it to Heneka Watkis-Porter @gmail.com. I am truly looking forward to connecting with you. If you want to send me a voicemail too, you can do that through my website. Just go to the middle at the right of the screen. There is an option for voicemail when you go to henekawatkisporter.com. I do want to hear from you. Remember, you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. Walk good.